We're on the phone now with Arkansas Razorback golfer Julian Perico. And Julian, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, of course, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Well, first, I want to get your reaction when you heard the news that the NCAA was suspending the rest of the winter and spring sports up until a certain point. The SEC suspending things until April 15th. The reaction when that news came down?
Honestly, it was kind of like bittersweet because, of course, like my season was over and like I had just started like trending the right direction just because I hadn't been scoring as well as good as I would have wanted the last couple of events, and then I played great at Cabo, and the team started to like kind of like get the ship on the right direction like we did last year at this time of the year, and all of a sudden like we get a text saying like, all right, we're done, like y'all can go home or like whatever, like we're done. And I was like, what the hell, like what do you mean? But yeah, so that was pretty sad just because like all the seniors like are really confused on like what to do. Like we don't know exactly what the process of like the extra year like or whatever they're trying to do, like make this year like not counting or something like that. I don't know how it'll work out, but if it doesn't work out, that Cabo would have been my last tournament with the four seniors, which like we played the same lineup for 2 years, so it's kind of sad. But on the personal side, I probably haven't given myself like a break like for a month without competition or like golf for the past like 5-6 years. So I mean, for me, like I'm doing things I've never really like been able to do or focus on. Like I'm really focused on school right now, which is nice, just as like I'm knocking stuff out pretty quick. And whenever I'm in season, which is basically like all year, because I compete for Arkansas in the fall and the spring, and then in summer and winters I compete for myself. So I really have like 4 to 5 weeks where I don't have tournaments a year or something like that. So it's weird. And now like I can just get home and like sit on my couch and watch some TV and do some homework, and I mean just be a normal kid for once, you know. And I mean I think it's a huge positive. Like everything is so negative around the world right now that I don't know, just trying to find a positive for this whole situation is good. And like I'm taking care of my body right now. Like I'm running every day 5 miles just to like do something, and these are things that I've literally never been able to do. So I just put it on a good perspective, and I'm just trying to get better at things that aren't related to golf specifically.
Yeah, I love to hear you say that because a lot of people right now want to know what athletes are doing. You're in uncharted waters. This has never happened before. But the fact that you're looking at this in the way that you are through the telescope of positivity and focusing on yourself, I think that's a great message that other athletes might need to hear as well.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's hard to put things in perspective like this, but I just think that like, I mean, I'm pretty mature myself, so that's probably why like I realized all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I have friends in different sports. Like Connor Nolan's my best friend here in school, and well, one of my best friends, yeah. And well, I mean, he was a little like sad, you know, like he had just started and he got kind of hurt, and then like he couldn't pitch for so many games, and then all of a sudden like he's done. Like I mean, he's not a senior or a junior, but like still like his season's done. Like he's our best pitcher, so it kind of sucks for him. But I mean, I told him like let's just put things in perspective, and like he's fine. Like he didn't react bad to it at all. Like he wasn't sad. He just, I mean, it's just what happened, you know. Like there are some things that like we literally can't control, like this coronavirus issue. So I mean, we just have to like do things that still make us better in different ways, not specifically in our sport, you know?
Absolutely. You know, it does have to be weird, though, if you think about it and sit back. You're supposed to be playing in Houston right now in a tournament. You're a couple of weeks away from the SEC tournament where you guys won a year ago. So you're trying to defend a title, and now you find yourself with nothing to do? How do you kind of put that into perspective, or at least maybe reflect on everything that's happening?
I mean, I guess we're still SEC champs for one more year, so that'll be quite all right for me. I'm fine with that. But
There you go.
yeah, but I mean, it's fine. Like it's, but I'm taking it very positively, honestly. Like it's just I don't know. Like I wish I could be competing right now because I was starting to play really good, but I've been wanting a break for like I don't know how much time. I've like I've been playing rounds, like, and I've just felt burnt out just because like I've been doing this for like so long in such a high intensity, just because like I've always been used to doing it this way, and I kind of like hit a crash in November where I was like I wasn't enjoying it at all, and it took me like 3 months to like get into a different perspective of trying to start enjoying it again, and I'm finally enjoying golf, and now that like, but I still wanted that break, so having this break right now is just, I mean, it's great. Like this friend from Peru texted me. She was like, "What are you gonna do now? Like you don't have season. I'm so sorry." And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna do what you do every day. Like I'm just gonna do school and like watch some TV, work out. Like I don't know, like it's pretty nice to finally do this. And like she laughed. So of course, like I mean, not everyone thinks like this, but
Sure.
I mean, you guys, like a lot of people that know me know that I'm pretty easy going on like when stuff goes south. Like there's always something good to look at, and I guess like I don't know, I can watch a lot of movies, and I don't know, I started to read. I'm just doing things I've literally never done, so
Yeah.
it's fun.
You got a new TV show, a new favorite movie, watching stuff?
Well, I'm big into this Netflix show called Elite.
Yeah.
But season 3 released on like Friday night, and by Sunday morning I was done with it. So I mean, yeah. And then my favorite show, it's called Money Heist. It's releasing its last season on April 3rd. So as soon as April 3rd hits, like I'm just gonna log down for like a day and get it over with. But like that's the only problem I have. Like I'm running out of things to watch.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of options out there, but I know binge watching shows is not something you athletes get to do a lot of, or if any at all. So this sounds really nice.
No, we never get to do these things. But I'll tell you what. Whenever Money Heist releases a new season, like my priorities just like absolutely flip. I'll never forget. I was in the Southern Amateur in the summer in Little Rock, and my friend Carlos Jeffrey, he's an SAE here. He's a senior, and he was caddying for me, and we were warming up in the range, and they released the season that morning, and like it was tournament day, and I put my headphones on in the range, placed my phone leaning up against 2 golf balls, looking at me, like the screen looking at me, and I was warming up watching the show. I was so into it. So like I'm really into these 2 shows, so it's such a shame that like I'm literally gonna get them over with in like a day, maybe less.
Hey, you've convinced me now. I'm adding those 2 to my list so I can know what all this hype is about.
Yeah, they're really good. I swear I won't disappoint. But
thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's just a hard time like to be a student athlete. Like of course like everyone's sad that the season's over. Like I have this friend on the swimming and diving team, and she was leaving for the national championship. I think she would have left today or tomorrow or something like that. And like all of a sudden, like a week ago, she was really sad because like, you know, like they, especially swimming, like they periodize their training in like certain ways to like peak at certain points, and like in the end they weren't able to like even go and compete.
Yeah. Well,
so it sucks, but I mean
yeah.
it's a part of it.
Absolutely. Now, I know a lot of these athletes are leaving, going home, or staying here and doing what they can. Where are you at currently right now?
I honestly haven't touched a golf club in like a week, maybe. So I'm just in my apartment, literally just doing homework and watching TV. But I'm just trying to like get all my homework assignments done. That way, like, I can just do tests for the rest of the semester and basically be done as soon as I can.
Nice.
Just because I don't want it to cram up on me, since like I have all the time in the world to do it right now. Like, there's no excuse of like turning an assignment late or like not getting anything below a 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to get like good grades, and I don't know, like my friends are gone. My team, like, it's just two of us left here, William, Bull, and I. So I mean, we're hanging out. Bull is obviously like he's been hurt for a while. He's been playing through this horrible back injury for like a semester and a half, and he's just taking time off, and I'm taking time off. And I mean, sometimes in golf you need some time off, just because it's a sport where like everything happens so slowly when you play it, but like then a tournament goes by so fast for some reason. Like, it's weird. So just having time to like slow the clock down and just wanting to like be eager of playing golf again, it's huge for us, I feel like.
Yeah, I want to get your take now on what your thoughts are. You know, you see everything kind of being canceled right now across the country, postponed, and, you know, they called the Players' Championship, and now the Masters has been postponed. As a golfer, what are your thoughts on events like that on the PGA Tour getting paused and canceled and postponed?
I think it's a good call. I mean, it's a safe call. There's so many players on tour that like, if like some of them might have it already, just because like it's spread out so quick, like you never really know who's got it or not. But I think that they did a really good take. Like Jay Monahan, he's the commissioner of the PGA Tour. Like, I think he did a great job on just like calling it off and saying like, hey guys, we need a break, and they'll reassess in a couple of weeks. But of course, the Masters tournament being, I mean, one of the most important like things in world sports. Fred Ridley, the chairman of Augusta, I mean, he postponed it or suspended it or whatever it is, and it'll like they'll play it in October apparently, but like it's fine. Like, I mean, it's I'd much rather have everyone healthy in the Masters and the PGA Tour later on the year than like having them sick and worried right now and like playing without fans and all that. It's just like, I don't know, like it's just not the same, and like I don't think the guys would play as good just worrying about like catching a virus or not. So
absolutely,
everyone's at home practicing. What I've heard of, like Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, they're practicing together in Jupiter right now. So everyone's just getting better, and I mean, I think the PGA Tour is very mature, and and all the major championship like venues and associations are mature as well, which like they'll handle it at a great in a great way.
Yeah, you know, I'm curious, could you go home back to Peru if you wanted to right now?
I could have gone, but honestly, like if the situation gets bad down there, like everyone's screwed just because the resources are like they aren't great, you know. And I mean, they're shutting down the country starting tonight, so I mean, I wouldn't have made it anyways. So I mean, I have a friend right now that he plays at UTA in Dallas, and like he's trying to like somehow get to Houston tonight and then catch a flight to Lima and get there at like 11:45. His flight would get there or something, when like they literally closed the country at 11:59. So I told him like don't be dumb, like just stay, like seriously, like don't risk it, because like if you don't get there on time, I'm pretty sure you're very screwed then.
You're stuck. You're stranded. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you have nothing to do. So I told my parents like I wish I could come, but at the same time, like I think it's the safer place for me is here, Fayetteville. And I mean, if I get really bored, I don't know, like I'll drive to Dallas or I'll do something. But like I mean, the resources are way better here, so I'm just staying here and I can focus on my schoolwork better here. Because if I was home, like everyone would try to see me, and like I would be so busy trying to see everyone, and I mean it'd be a mess. So I can just get like school knocked out here and focus on it a little better.
All right, and last question for you. Obviously, in the middle of your sophomore year, now things have gotten canceled. I don't know what your future was, what your ideas for the future was, but does this at all put any kind of wrinkle in any plans that you had on either going pro or staying at Arkansas?
Like, I've had that question been asked a lot for like the past year, and whenever the season got canceled, like a lot of people have told me like, "What are you doing?" and like, "What are you thinking? What's your take of going pro?" But I mean, honestly, like, and I would never lie about it, and I've told the same thing to everyone. Like, I'm not gonna go pro until I graduate,
Mm-hmm.
just because like I I just love like Arkansas. I love playing for the Hogs. Um, I love my friends here. I'm not ready to like just leave them and live on my own, like try to make a living out of this. Just because, not that I'm not mature enough. Like I know I'm mature enough and I'm good enough to do it, but I just don't want to like rush a step in my life. And also, if they end up giving me like, apparently like I would be able to repeat my sophomore year athletically, like next year. For have you
Mm-hmm.
heard about this?
I know that they're looking at spring sports being able to get a year of eligibility back, but there's still
Yeah,
so much gray area there.
yeah. So we're a spring sport. So if I end up getting my eligibility back, I I mean I could basically take like slightly less classes per year, like one less class a semester, which would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I wouldn't have to like rush my graduation. Like I could just take it easy for 5 years. And I mean, if Mason and William Bull come back next year, because I think that Tyson's already like kind of set on coming back if they give it to him. But if Mason and William come back, and Luis, and then we've got a strong class coming in, and one of my best friends is transferring from UNCW here, like we could be a top 10 team in the country, like
Mm-hmm.
no problem. I feel like because like we would be really deep, which we haven't been in like the last 2 years. Like we've had 6 players basically like on the lineup, like
Mm-hmm.
and just rotating like 5 to 6, 6 to 5. But I think we would be like deep enough where like we could make runs and like just get a little more competitive here in practice. So my take of going pro, like I mean I'll go pro, but not right now. Like I'll wait to graduate and I mean just see how everything like solves out. Like what my father always tell me, and like my team like in golf, they're like, dude, golf takes care about so many things. Like I don't really need to push going pro. Like if I'm ever in a situation where I play good enough golf to go pro, well, so be it. But like right now, I'm not rushed at all. I'm not. Like it really hasn't crossed my mind this year. It crossed my mind last year as a freshman, just because like I don't know, like it's a cool thing to do per se, like going pro and trying, but there's no point, honestly. Like I'd much rather just get my degree and go pro whenever like I'm done with this part of my life.
Yeah.
Because like I'll never get it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what? We appreciate the transparency, the honesty. You're such a fun dude to talk to, so hopefully we can talk to you some more in the coming years. And find some good shows on Netflix too. They're good ones on there. You will not be at all any kind of waste of time with some Netflix shows.
No, I'll be quite all right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Julian, appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right, yeah, bye.